Good morning, students. I'm going to start the new poem from your new poem from your textbook, First Flight, Animals, written by Walt Whitman. This is the Song of Myself in the Leaves of Grass. First about the poet, then introduction, a brief summary, and the stanza-wise explanation of this poem. About the poet, Walt Whitman, 1819 to 1892, is a major figure in early American poetry. He broke the tradition of rhyme and metric poetry. He was famous for writing a revolutionary new kind of poetry which was in a free verse. The poem Animals is from his work Song of Myself in Leaves of Grass. Now, introduction to the poem. Walt Whitman has shown the comparison between the human beings and animals in this poem. He has pointed out the evils present inside the human brain, which he thinks animals don't have. That is why he thinks that animals are much better than human beings. यहाँ पर जो पोएट है वॉल्ट वाइटमैन इस पोएम में कंपैरिजन कर रहे हैं ह्यूमन बींग्स और एनिमल्स के बीच में. क्या पॉइंट आउट कर रहे हैं कि ईवल जो है इंसानों के दिमाग में बहुत ज़्यादा है. ह्यूमन ब्रेन्स हैव लॉट्स ऑफ ईवल प्रेजेंट इन द माइंड बट एनिमल डज नॉट हैव इट. सो वो क्या सोचते हैं, एनिमल्स आर मच बेटर देन ह्यूमन बींग्स. A brief summary of the poem. In this poem, Animal, the poet has described his will to become an animal because he thinks animals are far better than human beings. Human beings are greedy and full of jealousy against each other, but animals are calm and self-contained. The animals are happy with what they have. They never complain about miseries and sorrows. On the other hand, human beings complain about their miseries. They give more importance to the rich and strong people, stay restless because of their wrongdoings, and run behind the luxurious things of this world. Whereas animals are honest about the relations and don't give importance to the particular class. They live a life which is full of honesty and less of greed and jealousy. Now, poem Animal and explanation stanza wise. First, I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. Now, the word meaning placid means calm and peaceful. Contained means keep up control. Now, the explanation of this lines. The poet says that he wants to live in the world of animals. Here we can say that the poet finds the world of animals better than that of the human beings. He further says that he finds animals more peaceful than humans. He says so because animals are not running after worldly things like human beings. They are calm and have no greed for worldly things or any kind of achievements. They are self-contained, means they are happy with life and never interfere in the lives of others. Humans have the habit of interfering in the lives of others. So poet thinks that animals are better than humans for being calm and not interfering in the matters of others. The poet further says that these are the reasons why he stands still and looks at the animal for a very long time. हमने इस स्टैंजा में देखा कि यहाँ पोएट जो है खड़े होकर कंटिन्यूसली कॉन्स्टेंटली एनिमल्स को देख रहे थे. देखकर वो क्या सोच रहे थे यहाँ पर इसमें, वो सोच रहे थे कि एनिमल्स आर फार बेटर देन ह्यूमन बींग्स बिकॉज दे डजंट इंटरफेयर इन एनी अदर लाइफ. दे ऑलवेज लिव हैप्पीली इन देयर ओन लाइफ. दे नेवर मैटर अबाउट एनीबडी एल्स बिकॉज दे डोंट वॉन्ट टू they are very calm and self-contained. That doesn't matter about any other things. So he stands there for a long time and look at the animals. He wants to look the animal for a very long time there. So he stands there and looks at the animals here. So literary device used in this stanza are assonance, use of the vowel sound I in I think, I live with animals. Repetition, use of the word long. Anaphora, I word used at the start of two consecutive lines. Next stanza, they do not sweat and whine about their conditions. यहाँ पे they किसको बोला गया? They are the animals here. They do not lie awake in dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me stick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Sweat here, it means complaint. Whine means cry. Sin means wrongdoing. Demented means mad or disturbed. So what does the poet say in this stanza? The poet says that unlike human, animals don't complain of any misery. They never cry out loud like humans do to show that they have lost. यहाँ पर जो एनिमल्स है किसी दुख को लेकर, किसी चीज़ को लेकर दुखी नहीं होते, ना ही रोते चिल्लाते हैं जैसे इंसान करता है। और कुछ खो देते हैं या कुछ भी उनके साथ चला बुरा हो जाता है तो वो जोर से वो रोकर उसको कंप्लेन करते हैं कि दे हैव लॉस्ट समथिंग. दे नेवर स्टे अवेक in the night crying in repetitions of their wrongdoings. और रात रात भर जागते नहीं रहते अपने गलत कर्मों के लिए या मन में सिन लेकर कि मैंने कुछ गलत कर लिया. ऐसे एनिमल्स नहीं करते because it doesn't do such things. This means that the animals are different from human beings because they don't show anger or grief when something wrong happens with them. He further says that animals are very truthful because they never boast of their good deeds done in the name of God. He says so because most of the human beings do this. They try to show their good deeds and religiousness to others. They do so in order to gain popularity among their fellows. So the poet thinks the animals never irritate him by doing such things just to gain some praise from the other fellow people. He feels that the animals are not dissatisfied like humans. They stay happy with whatever they have. They never run behind worldly things. They never try to possess things of comfort or luxury. He says, none of them is mad being owing the worldly things. Now, literary device used in this stanza are anaphora used to repeat the word as the beginning of 2 or 4 consecutive lines. They do not. Metaphor, sweat and whine refers to the cries and complaints of human beings. Hope you have understood till this what the poet wants to say in this paragraphs, that how he wants to stay and look at the animals because they are far better than the human beings because they are calm and self-contained. They never cry, they never weep, they never compare to other people. Hope you understood till this. I will continue the poem in my next video. Thank you.